When we build communities like here at Spaces, the key is to have a wide community, diversity. They are realizing it. Well, they are realizing it as well in the sense of execution. But they're really teaching us and showing us the way forward. I like to refer to it as a workspace revolution, and revolutions, they usually is like grassroots, bottom up, right? So it is the young employees, the millennials who are saying, no, I want to work whenever and wherever that I like. I don't want to be measured any longer, they say, by a timesheet. They want to be measured by results. They're thriving on co-working, where they can tap into the more seasoned profiles. And that's why when we build communities like here at Spaces, the key is to have a wide community, diversity, so that you basically have the millennial in blue jeans and white t-shirt interacting with an old stuffy baby boomer like me, that you have the startup interacting with a multinational, Industry A with Industry Z. That leverage, that sharing of knowledge are driving factors. The speed of change today, where if you are a Fortune 500 company today, statistically, more likely than not, you won't be among that top tier only 10 years from now. That's how fast it is changing. So those traditional companies, they're looking at how relevant will their industries be 10 years from now? What should they do, and how should they adapt and maybe even take advantage of those changes? But there is a third question that is not asked often enough, but it is starting to be, and that is, how can I, not only my industry and my company, but me as a person, remain relevant 10 years from now, or even tomorrow, or maybe I was already obsolete yesterday? Well, that's also part of this exchange with the millennials and Generation Z, because with the speed of change, people like me, baby boomers, we don't have the luxury of going back to a classroom to catch up. We have to learn on the go. So that exchange, that mentorship, what the millennials are seeking from us, we have the mutual benefit of getting the current knowledge from them. One last very key element is that the way that we account for our results, and when I say account for, I mean real accounting, your annual, your P&L, your balance sheet. The new rules and regulations are now mandating that when you sign a lease for 10 years, you have to put those 10 years of rent on your balance sheet as a liability. There's nothing to balance that out on the other side. So it is really hurting your KPIs, and it's sort of difficult to explain to your shareholders why. So why tie up, why add that liability to your balance sheet? Why be liable for those 10 years along with a capital investment in the outfitting, and knowing that you have in reality no chance of assessing what your workspace requirements are 10 years from now, 5 years from now, maybe even 5 weeks from now. Shared economy, first of all, overall for society, it is the way forward. We have to be very aware about sustainability. And if we're not sharing cars, if we're not sharing offices, if we're not sharing living, we are already feeling, of course, the changes to environment, to climate, etc. So that awareness is also a key driver, but it's also a must that we accommodate it. And it will only become stronger and stronger, and it will affect more and more areas, by the way, also the way that we and I personally predict what we will encounter in the years to come.